I just got off the phone with a buddy of mine down in South Arkansas, and we were talking about um, kind of why men do what they do and the reasons behind it and things like this. Kind of what we call the cost of silence. And we were talking about a few things, and wanted to kind of share what was on my heart and what we were talking about. Most men don't struggle because they don't feel. They struggle because they were taught to carry it alone. Um, Somewhere along the way, we learned to stay quiet, we learned to push it down, and to handle things ourselves. Um, but that silence comes at a cost. It costs to our peace, our relationships, and sometimes even to our faith. Today, I want to kind of go into that in this session here. We want to talk about why men internalize their feelings and their emotions, and where that lessons come from, where those lessons come from, I should say, and what men really need from the people closest to them. This is an honest conversation about strength and silence and the weight men carry when no one's looking. If you've ever felt that you had to be strong at the expense of being honest, well, this one's for you. It's called cost of silence. You know, um, most men are often taught quietly and early to keep their feelings to themselves. No one always says it out loud, but the message shows up in small ways. Be tough, don't cry, handle it, figure it out on your own. Strength gets praised and silence gets rewarded. Um, Over time, many men learn that emotions are something to manage internally and not to share publicly. There are reasons this pattern sticks. Men are frequently valued for what they can provide, what they can fix, or maybe even endure. Admitting fear and sadness or uncertainty can feel like a risk to that value. Vulnerability may be mistaken for weakness in some cases, especially in the culture where men are expected to lead and protect and to stay steady under pressure. Um, so instead of, you know, talking, men tend to compartmentalize, to push the feelings down and tell themselves that it's nothing, and to keep moving forward. But internalizing those emotions doesn't make them disappear. They only surface in other ways, kind of like, um, I'd say, probably stress and anger and withdrawal, maybe even exhaustion, or silence that creates distance between relationships. Um, Many men don't lack feelings, they just lack a safe place to put them. What men often need from friends is permission without pressure. Not constant probing, not jokes that deflect the seriousness, but space where honesty doesn't change how they're seen. Sometimes that looks like sitting beside someone instead of across from someone face to face. Sometimes it's talking while doing something, driving, working, fishing, um, where conversation can come and go naturally. Men tend to open up when they feel accepted, not interrogated. From family, men need reassurance that they're valued beyond what they can accomplish. Being told and shown that love isn't conditional or, based on success or strength or stoicism matters more than most will admit. Men need to know that they can struggle without becoming a burden or a disappointment. And from a spouse, men often need safety above all else. Safety to speak imperfectly, safety to admit failure, admit fear or even failure, I guess, without being used later as a weapon or a measuring stick. Most men don't need solutions, they need understanding. They need to be listened to without being immediately corrected or fixed. When vulnerability is met with respect instead of judgment, trust often deepens. At the core, men internalize their feelings because they learned that survival meant doing so. But men heal and grow and connect when they're reminded that strength isn't the absence of emotion, it's the courage to share it with people who will handle it with care. That's kind of some of the stuff that we talked about probably about 30 minutes ago, an hour ago. I hope you found that helpful. I know I did whenever we were kind of going through it. I say going through it, kind of talking about that. If you did, just kind of leave a comment. Maybe, hopefully you found it enjoyable. Thanks a lot. Y'all have a blessed night. Bye.